right here in the city. And I have such a beautiful view of my window. Here's my little space where I like to sit and ride, drink wine, and visit. Literally right behind these trees are the city. So it's so pretty. And then I had to get my beautiful little colors. You guys can see my favorite color right now. Yep.
Okay, we gotta do either still or some of these guys. Oh my God, fun. Here comes the still. That one's still.
I wanted to show you guys, remember how I've been working so dirty? I wanted to show you guys how much I cleaned up. Look at my tools back here. I decided to put all my tools to take off the stand that was on my table. There's some of my components. Okay, this is still a mess where I have my files and stuff, but I am getting there, and this corner is a little better too. There's my window and my lights. But, you know, I'm getting there. It's like, look, I can literally drill things and have a little bit of room to work here. You know, I actually have this all cleaned off pretty good. You know, all my tools that I need to the right, including my torch. So, you know, here we are here with a much cleaner area. Now my studio, when you're really working on a body of work, you just have to give yourself some credit. You know what I mean? Look at this back area where my tools are. Let me show you how nice and neat I am here. So it's like I have all, you know, a lot of my hammers here, except for the two that I use all the time over on my anvil. There's my extra wire that I'm finding. I'm just really needing it. Pliers that I don't use all the time. You know, my jeweler's saw and things like that. And just, you know, a little bit of organization, a little bit of tools there that I really like using. Oh, I really love this piece that I had built by my neighbor, Matt. So here we go. I'm gonna show you guys just a little technique right here. Okay, so here is this piece that I started as a bracelet. I told you guys I would show you. You know, it's just this little drawing a bead that's in Making Connections that I'm really excited about. I actually did this part already. This is for the bracelet. I'm gonna have to curve it a little bit more. And then I have another piece that's gonna fit right in here that I've been working on. You guys can see the back of it. I really like this little decoration I put on the front. This just came out of the pickle, but I wanted to show you guys, you just always go two. This one really, you know, this turquoise can support 2 square wires. And then I've got it hinged. I did put 2 square wires here, but I had to only bring up 1. So for these 2 to go together, you know, and then I curve the wire. I love the decorations, the colors, and the stone that I'm putting with this is this one. It's gonna be so gorgeous. I have these gems too, but you know, it looks really good with these 2 colors. It's like all different shades of blues and purples, and this is morganite that I'm adding to the addition. And that is gonna be added to this end right here. So I still have to liver of sulfur this. This is gonna go right into here, and I'll show you that attachment in a little bit. So I'm ending with 2. So this one had to have 1. So I cleaned this out, and I'm gonna put this into liver sulfur, and I wanna show you, for me, what I like to do after liver sulfur is really use the scratch pen, or these. These I got from Home Depot, super cheap. So I'm gonna use these. Hi guys, hot as heck over here. It's like in the 90s. if you guys heard about the East Coast. So no lipstick, no hair down, nothing, just me. So anyway, I wanted to tell you about a couple more things that I'm working on here. There was a couple people that asked me about the scratch pens and why the brushes. So I'm gonna actually hook you up here, and as I clean this piece up, I'll just talk to you a little bit about how I use and why. Make sense? Okay. So out of the liver sulfur, black, right? I really have not been liking this black color, but I am gonna polish it back to almost silver again. But the way that I start, I'm gonna bring it right down here. I have some things going here that I can show you next time. Let me move this over. Voila, see this? Okay. I'm gonna get in here and scratch. I think I showed this on the last one, but it's like this really, when you move in this motion, oh my gosh, this gives you such a brilliant shine. And you know, the more pickle you can get off of your sterling silver. So when I put this in the pickle and had that beautiful, you know, well, it comes out of the pickle super chalky. And if I use this pen or this brush, you know, and if you don't like the scratchiness on here, you can always use the, my brain doesn't work when I start talking. You could always use this one. This is the bronze color, you know, the brass color. This one actually gives you a little higher shine. And the silver steel really just takes, you know, really just kind of gets in there and gives you a shine. But this one is a little bit more gentle. And then I want to get definitely on the inside. I'm going to be putting silver foil in here, and I'll show you that one too. I'm putting silver foil in because this I need to shine. I need my morganite to shine through. So I'm going to take off some little bit of my silver, sterling silver foil. Well, I put my hand in the wrong place. So some people were telling me they like to use aluminum foil for this. You know, this sterling silver foil is pretty fragile, so I'm just had an excess of it, but I still am going to use it. I use the back side of my paintbrush. And I don't really worry about, I'm going to go ahead and put this in here like this. Voila. I'm making a mess here, but such a thin foil. I've got this packed in here, and I do have to, let me lay this flat. Let me see if this will help raise. Ooh, that's gonna actually be a nice raise here. I'm gonna just get a couple cheaters. So normally what I like to do is I will get in with my big needle nose pliers, and I'm gonna make super big jump rings. This is a round circle, so I don't have to be so specific, but I'm gonna make a large jump ring. This is a copper wire that is coated in sterling silver. So copper you can pickle. You know, for me, it's like I used to put steel in the bottom. Then I realized if someone does a repair on your work, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble because you cannot put steel in the pickle, as we know. Or as maybe you just learned, but most of us. Okay, so this end is a little bit pinched. So I'm actually gonna snip that end off. I want a really nice fit. Now, I have two like edges that are very sharp and connected. And now I'm gonna twist these together. So when I'm putting in a false bottom to lift up my stone because I know I had a lot more room. So you wanna make sure your piece is absolutely flat and flush. And if it's not, you just hit it on the anvil for a quick second. And you guys, why do I have my computer set up here? I am about, see, I have my computer set up right there. I'm about to join my Discord group that's in my unfolding. So in unfolding, you actually get to show up and just work next to each other. So I'm showing up, and there will be a few other artists that, you know, whoever wants to show up, we just work together. We do our work together. So that's kind of fun. Oh, I wanted to get this piece out, and there goes my foil. You know, I used to tack down my foil in here, but then I realized, it's gonna stay down through pressure. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna show you guys close up. And now I'm gonna set my morganite. Find the exact way that my stone should be set. Do you guys like setting stones? I actually like creating the bezels and soldering more than I like setting the stones. Okay, there we go. It's sitting in here in a little disc. I'm gonna have the perfect, see that? This is the perfect amount of bezel wire to come up over the top. Can you guys see that, or is it blurry? The perfect amount. Let me do this. There we go. See that? The perfect amount. It's just a hair above, and then my stone can shine. So the silver in the back, because I can't cut out the back, I'm doing a prayer box. So the silver in the back helps to bring out the shine. So if I can't cut out the back, which I do most of the time with my stones, see, most of the time I cut out the back so you can really see it gorgeous. But if you can't, or if it's a stone that's opaque like this one, you know, this is actually a, my brain, when I get into the right brain, you guys, this is an opal. It's a pink opal. When I get in right brain, sometimes it's hard for me to get into my left brain and identify. So you guys get, when I do my other recordings, you guys get some real left brain work. Now we get some right brain work when I'm in here working in my studio. So, you know, people will ask me, it's like, I can switch over into business and into my working brain, but I just can't do it at the same time. You know, I used to have, I could build products and business, but literally when I'm with my students, I'm in right brain, working through creativity, working through ideas like that. So you guys saw me just use my pliers with that. Now I don't want to come very close to my piece, so I do this, and then I have a bezel pusher, and mine is plastic. So my bezel pusher will literally, I'll be able to roll right on top of my gem and troubleshoot and get into some areas. That's why I love using plastic. People back in the 70s used to use spoons, you know? Everyone didn't go out and buy all of the tools that you absolutely need. So isn't that interesting to think of? What I like to do, you guys, and I'll do a whole one on the nomadic toolkit. My philosophy is use as little tools as you can. You know, twist your own wire if you can, hammer your own square wire. Like the more work that you put into, the more you alter your own work as you go along, the more, first of all, your work becomes more and more of a talisman because you're putting more and more energy into there. And then second of all, you actually are doing something different than most people have. Everybody nowadays can run to the store and buy whatever they need to, you know? So when you do your piece a little bit different, that's kind of nice. Isn't this gorgeous the way it's set up? Now what I'm gonna do is curve it a little tiny bit. And you guys, this is at my jewelry sale. June 28th, I have a jewelry sale. And this will be one of the pieces there. And I'm gonna fit this right into here. And truthfully, see how this is gonna fit right in? So this little piece here will join this little collective group with hinging. And then I'm gonna put an end on here. But let me show you real quick. Let me put this onto my wrist and see how much room I need. I just can't, you know, I have actually the tiniest wrist. I always did. So I try to leave a little bit more room, but I don't need much on the end. So I can see. And some people will, you know, and I need to also do a loop on here. Some people will contact me later and say, could you make it a little longer or shorter? So I'm gonna cut it right here. My pliers are double flush. And then I'm gonna take my tiniest of pliers and I am just gonna roll this back into a loop. And once I get my loop rolled back, what I usually do is pull it forward just a tiny bit. I keep these cold joined. There's no reason to solder these because when you go in to draw a bead, you will actually end up, when you go in to draw a bead, you'll end up soldering your piece closed. So soldering is closed, I'm gonna use a 20 gauge. So let's do this. And I'm gonna use my big torch right here. This is my MAP gas torch. I always quench in flux, or I like to quench in flux. Then what I'm gonna do is just bring this right next to the turquoise and thread it through. See that? Voila, there's your hinge. Now I have to determine how long I need it on this side. And I know this is a 22 gauge. I'm gonna leave a nice little amount. The longer, there is a whole science to drawing a bead. Oh my gosh, I could talk for an hour on drawing a bead, and maybe I will. But for now, for a little quickie, I'll talk on the inside of unfolding more on drawing a bead and how to get perfect. But for here, on the outside, I'm just gonna show you. Kind of like studio days. Voila. Quench. I do not want my pieces to get. And now, see that nice hinge? Look at how gorgeous this bracelet is. I'm really excited. This is my style. This is one of my dreams that I have. This one, I have to polish yet. So I have to go in, give it a high polish. These are pretty much polished, but I'm gonna go in and give everything a high polish, and I'm gonna set a hook. Oh, I guess you could actually, if you needed to, use this one right here. Use this little loop at the end. But I'm gonna go in and get a, put on a jump ring, so the whole piece will be complete. Voila. I am just trying to make a beautiful little fragile necklace for this piece here to sit on. So it has to be strong enough to hold, you know, a nice, strong, powerful piece with multiple gems. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 gems on here. So I'm gonna actually, you know, you don't wanna just, when you're building a piece that's all necklace, you know, that has a lot of gems and silver, you don't just want to do all leather or all sterling silver, you know, with the chain and separate one from the other. So what I was thinking was to put together, you know, a little, just some type of simple attachments with a few gems on here. So I'm going to show you that attachment right now. It's this one, you know, it's like really, I set a bezel and it's just drawing a bead here. So I'll show you on this piece here. Oops. Okay. I have a bezel made here. I'm just gonna pull it through. So let me draw a bead. Hang on a second. Actually, I'm using, you could use 18 or 22. I decided to use a, this is actually a 20 gauge. I kind of like the idea of a 20 of an 18. So maybe I'll switch the gauges up through my piece. Be kind of nice to do. I have my torch on. Get a little flux on here. And I'm just gonna draw a bead on here. Nice, beautiful little bead. Draw that bead. And then I'm gonna have another side. So you're doing 2 pieces, drawing a bead. Love that. In my bookmaking connections, I do a lot of drawing a bead. Okay, now, one of these, I've got 2 beads drawn. One of these, I'm gonna hammer flat. Ooh, I should have brought my anvil over here, my little anvil. I don't think I have it. Oh, here's a little anvil, hang on. It's a little dirty, but it'll work. Little dirty, but it'll work. And then I can show you this right in front of your eyes. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is this one. Grab my hammer. Just gonna hammer it flat. Get a nice paddle. This is the spoon actually, but the spoon and paddle. And then I'm just gonna drill a hole right through here. Now, you have to be very careful. I'm gonna move you right over here. You have to be very careful for this reason. Hang on, let me grab my paddle. You could easily, if you don't have a sharp drill, like my drill, if it's not sharp, and it'll take it and grab it and spin with it. So you really wanna make sure that you're just very gentle. Let your drill do the work. I have a 62 in here because I just need the tiniest of holes. Just gonna lay this on here and just very gently, oops, you could mark it, you could punch it. There we go. And you get a beautiful little hole in your piece, okay? So, I just need one hole. Get this back in here. Okay, so now I have my other piece that I showed you. And what I'm gonna do is I have my bezel right here. I'm gonna push this piece through. Does that make sense? And then I'm gonna push this piece through. Sometimes I like to put a little more decoration on there. Does that make sense? No, that doesn't. Yeah, that does make sense. Okay, so I wanna determine the length of this. So I've got two pieces on here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short right here. However long you want it to be. I like to do short segments. You know, I did a whole book on cold joints, and it's like these short segments actually will give you a lot of hinging and a lot of curves and things like that. So let me go ahead and dip that in the flux and get my torch started. Whoop. Be nice and quick. If you're quick, it doesn't even hurt. Okay. There we go. I've got a nice little hinge on here now. See that? You can see how beautiful this green gem is. Got a hinge on here. So this area, I need to draw the bead on again because I'm extending it. I'm making the chain with this. But I think I'm gonna move into maybe, I'm thinking a 16 gauge might be a little bit stronger after this point. Let me get my blowtorch in just because it's quicker to light. Okay. Whoops. Okay. This one I'm gonna paddle out and we'll just keep going. We'll just keep going with the whole connection. That's all. You're just gonna see a lot of this work done. So let me get a piece to go in this end. Whoops. Just keep going with it. See that? How nice this is going to be as a necklace. Maybe I'll add another gem later on. Here is my walk to the bathroom. Some people who are farther away, they actually take skateboards down. Wish I could show you the skateboards. They just cleaned out this hallway, so it's so nice and neat. Here's where I go out my door, because you guys know I'm in a factory. There's our factory. There's back, I'm straight back from here, and here's the door to the bathroom. Let's see if, ooh, the other room is open too. Here's our little women's bathroom, not very exciting. The guys is a little bit more exciting because they've got some nice lights in here, see? There's no guys in here now, but I wish this was the girls' bath. They even have a painting in here. Isn't that amazing? A sink with a mirror. Pretty amazing. But I want to show you guys also this new area. They say they're going to put heat and air conditioning on. This was an area that was literally just blocked off. I'm going to see what happens. If I could get a corner space, I'd be maybe interested in switching. This would be a great space to move into. Oh my gosh. Then I think there's just a big hallway in the middle. With all those windows, it'd be hot in the summer, but if I have air conditioning, I won't have to worry about it, right? So here's what ours looked like before. This was a car factory, and the car factory was Astor. And Ford, I think, bought them out and absorbed them. And these windows are actually, so this was from, you know, in the 1900s, maybe before then. Actually, I'm not sure with the date. But these windows are LED, which is why you can see all the beautiful colors that just this LED turns into from getting older and being in the sun and having heat and cold up against it. So that's, you know, it's one of the things that puts a really dreamy look on your, on my work. I love photographing my work right up next to these type of windows. They make my stuff look very interesting. I'll show you another room that I think they're actually working on right now. I might have to go talk to them about reserving a space. There's a nice brick wall. If you were in this one here, you get that gorgeous brick wall, which might be a good one. Have a nice window and a brick wall. There's a freight elevator right there, so you can get up and down fairly easy. This is the whole, this is where some other artists already are working inside here. See these gorgeous ceilings. And over in this area, I thought, oh my gosh, this would be another great area right here. And they're working on this place first. So this would be amazing to have a studio with air conditioning and heating. It's gonna cost more. But, ooh, I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it. I love this brick wall. Have to be on the other side, but see, this one has actually a fire escape. Look at the gorgeous, gorgeous radiators, right? Crumbly radiators, crumbly. Very, very crumbly, left over from, but we still use the radiators. That's how we get our heat over here, radiators. And then this is like a door, goes up to the third floor. This is the third floor. Nice brick wall. So actually, I think the studio that would be available, this has the brick wall around it. It has windows, but I still have a nice brick wall. There's a lot going on here. Columns. The shelving is just here temporarily, of course. This would be a fabulous corner. This might be the very front of the building. Yep, this is a, oh no, this is a parking lot. Where in the heck is it? Oh yeah, this is the very front of the building. So this would be facing north. This would be a north light and a western light. This is so pretty. I might have to ask for this one. And see, here they are. It's gonna be big, a big community. I'd be far away from the bathroom. Now you see why people actually do. There he goes. Now you see why people actually do skateboards. There he goes. I'm gonna go this way. This is some of my buddies' studios. Whoops, he's behind me, following me. So here's Brooke. Here's our photo shoot. We're getting ready for our photo shoot. Here's our pieces. We did strings and flowers. Okay, let's see. There's Brookie. She's the stylist. Getting all the, setting everything up, getting it all styled out. There's the piece she's photographing now. Ooh, looks good, Talsman. That's for our photo shoot. We decided to use this building. Lots of flowers, lots of pieces. Hey, just me, I'm walking away. There's Brookie photographing. Oh my God, this light is so bright, washes you out. I actually have to go back, run back and forth. Isn't that crazy? It's like you always think your day, you can be in your studio, just building all day. Everything's gonna be fine. Luckily, I have Brooke here helping me with this photo shoot. I have to run back and meet the guy because I had that flood this morning, right? Day of the artist. I had my air conditioning. It's one of the hottest days. I think it's 90 degrees out here. And there was a flood in my house that I'm working on taking care of. And it's very disappointing. It's my air conditioning that I just bought a new unit, my whole central air, like 4 years ago. So we'll see. I'm back to check on the guys.